Good evening, Reverend Fathers, beloved Don Bosco team, lovely parents, and my dear children. I initially thank the rector and correspondent, our Reverend Father, Dr. Xavier Bakia, and our principal, Reverend Father Gerald Miranda, for having invited me to be a part of this Parents Day celebration. I am indeed privileged to have been associated with you, our Salesian fathers, during the past years, and have been actively following your incredible work, which is always a constant source of inspiration and motivation to me as a bureaucrat. I'd also like to use this opportunity to place on record my sincere appreciation of all the good work undertaken by you, not only in the field of education, but in many other social causes as well. I've also experienced, dear fathers, firsthand the effort you have taken to mold our children into productive and responsible citizens with an emphasis on all-round development rather than academic excellence alone. My son has also been a beneficiary of the school's practice of nurturing each individual child, identifying their latent talent, and also providing opportunities for the talent to be showcased. I am proud to say to each of you that these Salesian fathers have been leading by setting examples. They are actually role models for their students and also their parents to emulate. No wonder the school has a long list of noted alumni. Of course, we have been watching all their good work. Last 2 years' presentation as annual report, it was almost like watching a movie show. It was very interesting. And dear fathers, please keep up the good work. I also have been noticing that, especially during this COVID pandemic and during all the natural calamities, the school, the children, and the past pupils, alumni, PTA, all of them have been getting themselves into the field and helping the needy. The alumni are not far behind in doing all the good deeds. I've heard about the Min Siragagal initiative, by which laptops have been provided to the needy children. It's just one such example to point out today. Hats off to all of you. At this juncture, I would like to thank the DB family for all the efforts taken in organizing this Parents' Day event, especially adhering to all the SOPs of the government. Now let me focus on the reason why we are all gathered here. It's Parents' Day celebration, a day in which we recognize the role of parents in a child's life. Wish you all a very happy parenting. I happened to recently read our Rector Father's message on the school's website. I would like to quote it. The school alone cannot address all of a child's academic and developmental needs. A strong partnership between the school and the family is essential for a successful education. This actually makes one think, are we doing enough? Are we doing really enough for our children? I just want to share 3 simple takeaways in this event. The first and foremost takeaway is communication. I strongly believe that the foundation of any relationship is communication, and communication was actually my forte, I thought so, a couple of years back. I actually have a teenager back at home. He is one of your past pupils. I once heard him talking over the phone that he was weak. So as any mother, I rushed to prepare something which would satiate his hunger pangs. But then later on I heard that weak actually in teenage slang means that they are having or found something funny. So this teenage slang per se is a way of the kids to communicate. It's actually funny and also interesting. In fact, at times, it is almost like a second nature. The parents don't even notice that what is slang and what is normal that the kids actually talk. So if your child tells someone as a goat, there is no need to be offended. Actually, I learned that GOAT, goat, means greatest of all time. And when they call someone savage, it doesn't mean that the person is rude or brutal. Savage only means that he's a cool kind of a person, I suppose. And once they are woke, it doesn't literally mean that they are woken or something like that. It only goes to show that they are actually aware of a lot of social issues. So these expressions of the teens are usually innocent and sometimes even hilarious, but they need not be necessarily wrong. But sometimes parents can actually get some warning expressions. For example, in case they mention ship, it doesn't actually mean literally a ship. It can also mean that they are into a relationship. So what I would like to say is that there are a lot of terms, but we need to understand, we need to make an effort. We should try to maintain a consistent communication with our children. Although we need not instantly understand all that the child wants to tell us, but we can take some time to show our desire to understand and communicate. Jokes apart, dear parents, I'd like to tell you that our children are evolving fast and we need to be a little more faster. So a few tips I just jotted down on my way to the program. There is something called Urban Dictionary. Actually, this Urban Dictionary is different from our normal dictionary. It's available in the social media also. So this gives you all the slang terms that your teens back at home will be using commonly. I know you can also set some Google alerts, and Google alerts can be set as per your convenience. You can have a duration, and of course you can have your choice of ideas and programs you want to watch in these Google alerts. It can even be social media. Of course, all parents know that we can block the dangerous site and the duration of internet usage by the children can be controlled, but believe me, it didn't work for me. So I stuck to my first takeaway for the day, communication. I'm still making an effort. Every day I make an effort, and kindly maintain an open line of communication, and please encourage them to talk about even questionable material that they are exposed to in social media. So please communicate with your child. And my second takeaway for the day is a small story, which I'd like to share with you. Many of you would have heard about this story. There was a father and a son. The father had asked his son, "Are you a brave lad or are you a coward?" Obviously, any boy would say, "Of course, I'm a brave lad." And then the father said, "In that case, are you willing to take up a challenge?" The boy did agree. Then the father said, "I'll be taking you to a forest. I'll leave you there overnight with your eyes blindfolded, and I'll come in the early morning to pick you up." The boy was initially hesitant, but did agree because he had trusted his father. So the father took the boy to the forest, blindfolded the child, and then slowly the boy heard the father's footsteps leaving him. All of a sudden, he started hearing a lot of eerie sounds. It was quite scary, and then it was biting cold also. So initially, out of fear, the boy started crying. He started calling for his father, but there was no response. So after a while, he gathered his courage, and he spent the entire night in the forest. And the morning, there was the sun's rays. He could feel the warmth, and slowly he removed his blindfold. And to his surprise, next to him, he saw his father standing. So he was out of joy. He cried, hugged his father, and said, "When did you come back, Dad?" The father said, "I didn't leave you at all. I was all over the night, I was there with you." So the boy said, "Then you heard me cry. I called out for you. Why didn't you answer?" The father said, "You had to overcome your fears. So though I was there present, I didn't reveal to you that I was present." The boy did realize that what the father had done for him was for his own good. Dear parents, my second takeaway for the day is please expose your child. Let the child experience the outside world. Don't overdo your parenting job. That is my second takeaway for the day. And dear parents, I know it's very difficult to be a parent, but my last message or the last takeaway for the day is the current children, the current generation of kids, believe me, don't need parenting. What they actually need is a trustworthy friend, a true friend, and this friend, they don't want them trailing from behind. They don't want them to be shadowed. Neither they want the parent to be leading in the front, showing the path, but they just need a friend beside them. But of course, at arm's length. So dear parents, try to be a friend, try to be that trustworthy friend for your child. Before I end my speech, dear parents, I'd like to also quote our Reverend Father Principal, a message which he has given for this academic year. Education is of the heart and not of the mind. Education is the basis to learn and unlearn what is effective and fruitful for life. In a casual or informal way, let me just say, education is what we remember after schooling. Actually, if you remember your grammar, if you remember your alphabets, if you remember your tables, that is real education. I don't remember my theorems I learned. Of course, I might not remember all the algebra I learned in my schooling. It doesn't really matter. So education is something which makes you a responsible citizen. And dear fathers, you have really been giving a lot of responsible citizens for our society. So dear parents, let us as parents strive to find a place in the hearts of our children and guide their mind towards goodness. Thank you all. Please stay safe. Thank you so much.